coming onto the floor, onto our backs. And into constructive rest posture. So here we go. So if you're at home and your toes are warm, I invite you to take off your socks, because socks add a little slipperiness to this posture. And to get the maximum benefit out of this posture, we don't want the feet to be guarded, like protecting themselves from sliding out or whatever. We're looking for a real ability to settle here. And again, this is a low back 101 posture, 15 minutes a day. Do it on a sticky mat or on a surface where the feet won't slide. Because even if we think that our feet aren't going to slide, the body may feel differently. And then what happens is either the quadriceps or the abdominals engage. And what we're looking for here is the capacity to really melt into the floor so that we can get a release in that big psoas muscle, the one that leads from the top of the low back all the way down into the hip flexors. So we'll settle here with our breath. We'll take a few moments to do an internal noticing, perhaps closing the eyes. And noticing maybe the shoulders today, maybe the shoulder blades. How are the shoulders settling on the floor? Or if we're seated in the chair, how are the shoulders feeling? We're looking at the shoulder blades. And we're inviting the shoulders to just really let go here. The world doesn't need us to hold it on our shoulders right now. And perhaps as we let go a little more in the shoulder girdle, we notice that our jaw softens a little bit. And let's begin our movement now with some pelvic tilts. So we flatten the waist and then we lift the waist. We're rolling up and down on the sacrum, the space in the center of our pelvis. Begin small, just almost microscopic. Notice the breath. Notice how the spine begins to move the head. Notice if the body wants to breathe in when the chin is lifted and the back is flat, or would the body prefer the in-breath when the waist is lifted and the chin is moved a little toward the heart? Play with that and just discover what your body says feels good today. I recently took a Feldenkrais class and discovered that I have belief systems that are not necessarily the best choices for my body. My body may know a little bit better than the guide that's in front of you. We're exploring here. And then we're going to pause. Walk the feet together, knees together. And we're just going to simply take a little bit to the right, 6 to 12 inches, come back to center, take the knees to the left, 6 to 12 inches, back to center. So now we're on automatic. We're just gently allowing our body to go right and left. So we were doing up and down or vertically with our spine. Now we're going horizontally. And just notice that the head may begin to follow the action of the knees. And then perhaps notice that the head can also go in the direction opposite of the knees. Explore which of those feels best for your body today. This month is a month where we're doing a lot of exploration in the shoulders of the neck. And so we're going to bring that to a pause. And now let's take our feet wide as the mat. And we're going to windshield wiper. So these may be a little bit deeper than when the feet were plugged into each other. Again, let the head follow the knees to start with. And of course, if you come to one side that feels really tight, we can always pause and just allow the stretch. And now it might feel okay to take the head away from the knees. So the knees to the right, the head to the left. Slow it down enough so when the knees travel in one direction, if the head is going away, that the head really takes a full relaxing turn. No force, no strain. We're just warming everything up so that when we come to seated, we have a little more fluidity available in our body. And then we're back at center. We're going to come to seated. So either roll to one side and press yourself up, or if it feels good, maybe you roll up today. We're going to take our towel, our stacked towel, or our extra mat, or the garden kneelers, if you have those, anything will do. We're going to take a couple of ticks here to come into a seated posture. And if Sukhasana is available to you, that's easy seat, do that. Now again, this practice can be done on a chair if you'd rather. The whole thing can be done on a chair. So we're going to pause for a moment, just get our sea legs, our sitting legs organized in a way that feels good. So we can have our legs crossed or the soles of the feet together. We're going to take our hands now and we're going to interlace them behind the head, and we're going to just let the chin come toward the collarbones. We're not pulling with the hands, they're just adding a little extra weight here. We're breathing. And now we're keeping that and bringing the elbows a little bit toward each other. Soften the jaw. Breathe deeply. And then on the next in-breath, we're going to expand by lifting, and the arms, the elbows come wide. And now we're going to flow with this. So slowly and gently come forward. This would be an out breath. And then the in-breath takes the arms, elbows wide, chin lifts just a little bit. So as we're doing this, you might notice that initially you feel it in the neck, but it really does travel all the way down the spine, doesn't it? So we're just noticing that now. Couple more. And then we're going to bring that to a pause. We're going to take our hands and we're going to interlace them behind our back. And then we're going to take them. Let's start at the right side. So they come around the waist to the right side. We're going to take the ear toward the right shoulder. I so wanted to do the left side, but this practice is toward the right shoulder. Breathe here. Then the head's going to come up and we're going to turn and look to the right. Keep the breath moving. And then we come back to center. Release the hands. Shake the arms out a little bit. Then coming back, interlace the hands and bring them around the waist on the left side. Depending on how wide the waist is, it may come all the way around. Mine don't today. That's okay. We're going to take the left ear toward the left shoulder. We're breathing here. So while we're taking this ear to the shoulder, make sure that that right shoulder is not rising up. We want it to be as relaxed as we possibly can make it. Then the head's going to gently come back to center and we're going to turn and look left. That right shoulder may want to help. Let's let that right shoulder relax down. And then we're gently going to come back to center. Let's take the legs out and wide. Bend the knees as needed. We're not done with our cross-legged or Baddha Konasana, but we're taking an opportunity to shake the crabby bits out. Woo! And then we're going to come back to our Sukhasana or our Baddha Konasana. You decide which feels best for you. And we're going to do a twist. So we're going to begin by taking the left hand to the outside of the right leg. That right hand reaches back, rests behind the sacrum, lift the heart, and then take the head gently into the twist. And then each time we breathe in, imagine lengthening the spine. And perhaps notice the magic of the head beginning to soften, the neck beginning to soften. So there's a little bit more of a turn here. We're going to come back to center, take the arms, fingertips wide, and now we're going to take a tip to the right side. The forearm may come toward the floor. There's a little bend here. Now imagine turning the armpit a little bit toward the ceiling. So that's really good external rotation in the shoulder. And then let the head turn to look down. Then slowly turn the head back up to look maybe at the crease in the arm, or maybe right below the arm. Sweep the arm across the body, and we come back to neutral. We're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. We're taking this hand behind the back. Lift the heart here. And then take a nice twist. Looking over that left shoulder. And as we're here, we remind ourselves that each breath lengthens the spine. Each breath softens the neck. Each breath deepens the twist in our belly just a little bit more. One more big, beautiful breath here. Last breath, best breath, come back to center. Fingertips to the mat. Now we're going to take that tip to the left side. So we're coming over. We're turning the armpit up just a little bit. And then we turn the nose down to look at the floor. We turn the nose up. Gentle rotations. Nice and slow. I did that one really fast. Take it slow. And then the next time we're at the top, we're going to come back to center and we're going to stretch our legs out again. Let them flop. Now lifting the heart here, we got good flexion in our feet. As needed, the knees can be bent. And we're just going to take a slow, gentle fold forward. And don't go too far. then come back up, and we're going to come to, rearranging my mat, we're going to come back to either Sukhasana or Baddha Konasana. We're going to do some eagle arms now. So we bring the arms straight out of our shoulders. We're going to take that right arm under the left, and we could take the hands, the back of the hand to the back of the arm. We can wrap it to hold the other hand, or if enough is enough on the shoulders, just hold the opposite shoulders. That right arm is underneath the left. We're going to lift this 1 inch or 2. We're breathing here. And now we're going to fold forward. So come on forward, take the chin into the upper arms. And maybe your arms come all the way to the feet, maybe they don't. We're resting the chin in the upper arms, that juncture, and we're feeling a nice opening behind the shoulder blades. And then we're going to rise up. And then we're going to take the right arm and we're going to reach it behind the back, touching the top of the spine or thereabouts. So this is Gomukhasana arms, where we hook fingers. But instead of doing that today with the strap, we're going to just hold the elbow and we're going to breathe here. So this is a tricep stretch, but it's also helping to soften in the shoulders. Oh, yoga brain, I love you. Then we're going to float the arms down. Oh. Walk the fingers back, lift the heart, lift the chin, and draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Come back to center. Arms float up. This time it's the left arm under the right. There we go. We lift the arms. Maybe an inch or 2, doesn't have to be far. And then on the next exhale, we're going to come forward. Any amount. Letting the chin come to rest perhaps on an upper arm. Coming back up, we're going to take that left arm now behind the back. I realized I cued it backwards. If you looked at it, I had my right and left backwards, but now it's the left arm. And then we're going to float those arms down. Let's shake the legs out again. And maybe if we come a little forward in our fold, the hands can be right in front of the groins. That was a lot of shoulder work. So now we're going to make our way to standing. I'm going to invite you to come on to hands and knees. Turn the toes under. Take those hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. Make those fingers wide. Rotate the elbow creases a little bit forward. Bring the head into alignment with the spine. Tuck the toes under. We're coming up into a downward facing dog. And then slowly the hands and feet are going to find their way toward each other. We're going to sweep up and we're going to come to mountain. I'm going to move my seat off the mat. Let's take our feet wide now. We're going to keep our toes turned forward. The feet are parallel. We're going to start by coming into a goddess squat. So we settle down here. And then we're going to take the left hand to the right leg. The right hand goes behind. And we're sinking a little bit forward while we're drawing that left shoulder toward the right knee. And we've got that right shoulder toggled back, and we're looking over that shoulder. We're coming back to center, so the hands release. We're going to hinge back up into goddess. And now we're going to take, looks like the right hand is coming to the left knee. We're squatting, we're taking that left hand behind and we're drawing the right shoulder toward the left knee. And we're looking up and over. Oh, the left shoulder. And then slowly unwinding that. We're coming back to center. Come back into goddess. Then we straighten the legs, step together, shake the legs out. And the arms too. And then we come back to mountain. The heart is lifted. The breath is deep, rich, and even. We're going to do a dynamic warrior 2 sequence now. So we're going to take our feet wide, and you control how wide this is. You can do a shorter width. In the ideal yoga world, the distance between the feet is about the length of one leg. That may or may not be available to us. We may not want to do that. We're going to begin here, though, with our arms extended above the head. If that feels good, if it doesn't, you can just come to the V or to the T. But we start here with the legs straight. You decide what's going to feel best for your shoulders today. And then on an in breath, we're going to turn that right foot out We're going to turn the left heel out. We're going to bend the knee and release the hands. When we come here, we're going to notice palms down or palms up, which feels best to your body today. We're slow walking the first sequence, and then we'll just do this with breath. So then we're going to straighten the front leg, toes turn forward, our arms come up again. And then on the out breath, we're going to the other side. So there's a pivot on the front and a pivot in the back foot. Choose up or down with the arms. Then we're going to straighten the leg, toes come forward. So let's flow with this. Find your breath. This is the in breath. This is the out breath. The in breath brings us back to center. The out breath takes us to pivot and warrior two. Breathe in to center. Breathe out, warrior two. So we're just flowing here. We did a lot of shoulder work. So you might, as I am, discover that my shoulders are feeling all the work we did. I'll do a couple more on each side. If at any point the shoulders are happy enough, the hands could just come to the waist. I'm going to come to center. Hands come to heart center. I'm going to release my hands now to the waist. My feet are parallel, hinging forward. Coming into Prasarita. So maybe we're holding behind the knees or at the ankles. Let the head relax. No, and yes, and no. Instead of walking to the other side. Breathe here. Nice stretch in the inner thigh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come back to center. Shake the head yes and no. Bend the knees deeply. Come up to goddess. Let's come to a 5-pointed star. Bring the hands up. Hands come to heart center. And we heel toe our feet in. We're back in mount. Taking the hands to the top of the shoulder. The elbows are going to come forward. And then we're going to rotate back. Keep the breath moving here. The next time we're in the front position, we're going to reverse that. Let the jaw be soft as we're doing this. Release. Pause in mountain. Now let's take that left hand across the body and we're going to give a nice stretch. We're reaching through the fingertips of both hands. And we're seeing if we can notice the stretch all the way across the shoulder blade and into the spine. Slowly coming out of that, we're taking that left arm up and over. We're doing the tricep stretch again, or half of a Gomukhasana arm, which is cow face pose. Some people call it mad cow. Then the arms float down. Pause for a moment. In mountain. And now we sweep the other arm over. We're reaching through the fingertips on both hands, imagining the fingertips to be a mile long, just really reaching. And we're noticing the shoulder blade and seeing if we can feel our way into the musculature that plugs into the spine, which I believe may be the rhomboids. That's part of what we're stretching here. And then we're going to take that up and over. And then releasing to mountain. Going to invite you to Shavasana now. So making your way onto the floor, come back into that constructive rest posture with the feet standing, knees bent, feet standing. And we're going to settle in with our breath. And notice how the shoulders rest on the floor now. And after a keen observation and noticing, gently release all thought and let go into Shavasana. Now gently turn your head slowly to the right. And then slowly to the left. And then back to center. Today's thought is a metta prayer. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be free. May I be well. May I awaken to the light of my true nature. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be free. May you be well. May you awaken to the light of your true nature. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be free. May we be well. May we awaken to the light of our true nature. Finding the breath deepening. The knees bend, the feet stand on the mat. We roll to one side, making our way to seated. We open our arms wide. We gather all the blessings that already exist, and we draw them in appreciation and gratitude into our hearts. And together we all say, Namaste.